All right, hello, Casey Lux here with Skip Newton once again. We're starting 3 minutes early. First pitch is going to be set for 4:27 as we're going to work it in here as we play here today. And obviously we kind of set some of our gear aside due to maybe some impending rain, maybe hopefully not impounding. That's probably the word we don't want to use, Skip, right?
Exactly.
Right. So right away off the bat, we'll dive into lineups, when we have time here. But the starting pitcher today is Brody Illa, the sophomore. We'll get into stats here as the game goes on. The leadoff here for Burnsville is the second baseman, Luke Dam. And Illa's off to an early 2-1 count. Skip and I were here for the exciting, long-winded at times, Eagan's first win of the season against Grand Rapids on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a nice first win of the season, right? It got a little bit hairy at the end there in the seventh inning, made things more interesting than we would have liked, but ultimately they came up with a big hit in the bottom half of the inning after giving up the 3-run lead and then bounced back with a second straight win after that.
Absolutely, for sure. So 2-2 count. Illa likes to go fastball splitter as well as slider. Fastball on the outside corner, much to the dismay of Luke Dam for the first out of the inning for the Wildcats. That's going to bring up the center fielders, Noah Lindsay. For the Eagan defense, you're going to have senior Joe Anderson out in left, junior Tate Gage in center field, sophomore Will Mitchell out in right field, and we're going to wait till after this pitch from Illa to give you our infield here today for the Wildcats. Fastballs up. Game is broadcast on both Burnsville TV, I believe, as well as Eagan TV. So they do the cross partnership for these two matchups. I think Skip and I in potential will be both doing the game at Burnsville for Eagan. So we want to say hi to those watching as well as Burnsville fans as well as Wildcat fans as Illa starts off 2-0. We're going to have Theo King at third base for the Wildcats. Ryan Eckerly, the senior, at short. At second base is going to be Aiden Canty, and then Tony Havari is going to be at first with Brandon Lundenborg doing the catching. There's a splitter on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 count, one down here early on. This is Noah Lindsay, the center fielder for Burnsville. Skip, what are you seeing early on from Illa?
He's got some pretty good pep on the ball. He's throwing a lot of heat. I think he's just trying to get pitches across the plate, getting fastballs in where he can. Of course, there he got that one up, and that is a little bit of the consistency I think we've seen so far with the first two batters is they are a little bit up in the strike zone, so you might want to start getting those down.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice piece of hitting, just going with the pitch there by Lindsay as he hits that ball up the middle past the diving shortstop Eckerly. Lindsay moves well, so even if Eckerly, and the ball wasn't hit that hard, so even if a Jeter-like play was made by Eckerly, I don't know if he'd have been able to throw him out at first. So Burnsville gets on the board with their first hit of the day. That's going to bring up the second baseman. That's number 9, Jacob Newts. There's that slider. That's low. A nice job by Lunenborg scooping it up. And then the other thing I was going to mention, too, Eagan gets their first win of the year. It was a non-conference win against the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. That was on Saturday. Then Eagan comes back with a 11-5 win versus their rival, Rosemount Irish, yesterday on the road. There's the 1-0 pitch, low outside. So I'm really interested to see how, because Burnsville's having a nice season this year. I'm really interested to see, what kind of momentum, what kind of a role Eagan is on, especially on the hitting side of things.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Burnsville coming in at 4-3 so far this season, 27 runs scored, but only 21 against, and that's in those 7 games. So just giving up 3 runs per ball game, that'll test the Eagan hitters for sure, and they're coming in red hot with 18, 19 runs in the last 2 games.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a 3-0 get over fastball by Illa. So 3-1's our count. We're getting some handy duty work here from the Eagan staff. See if we can make this work to get our monitor up. We were kind of holding off because we thought there was, like we said, rain coming in. There's a throw over to first by Illa. But we're hoping that maybe that is past now, and maybe it was a lot more bark than bite potentially on the radar screen, Skip.
Yeah, a lot of times people like to complain when the weather reports are inaccurate. I just assume they get this one wrong, and we get some dry weather the rest of this game.
Absolutely. All righty, a little excuse me while I attempt to swing at this. Thank you. Thanks to our camera crew, our truck crew, for getting us some action. Now, the interesting thing, Skip, will be is if the sun, if we can actually even see the screen, but we'll make it work. The excellent camera crew here, and once again, always thanking Burnsville TV as well as Eagan TV and their staff. 3-2 pitch, fastball right back at us. Fouled away. 1 out as Illa got an opening strikeout. Lindsay with a single up the middle for Burnsville with the catcher, Jacob Newts, at the plate. And we got some sunshine, Skip, too. There's going to be a walk, so first walk of the day for Illa. Nice at-bat by Newts. Going to bring up the pitcher today. It's going to be Colin Heckman. Heckman. Hitting for himself. Brandon Einberger will be the DH today for Burnsville. He'll be hitting for the right fielder, Adam Kruger. So Burnsville looking to jump on the board here early. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Reach on a hit and a walk. Sunny skies, Skip. That's a welcome sight here for baseball in April.
Yeah, sunny skies. The weather is considerably warmer than it was on Saturday, so
yeah,
a good sign for the rest of this afternoon.
Absolutely. There's a fastball in there for a strike. Wind's down a little bit from this weekend. I do see some darkness in the clouds, and I'm hoping that means that's going somewhere else than right to the guts of us.
Exactly, and the wind is going, left to right, which is pretty consistent from what we've seen so far this season, right?
Yep, absolutely. It seems to be. Fastball in the outside corner just misses. 1-1 is our count. One out here early on. The Blaze taking on the Wildcats here at Wildcat Park. Illa, a sophomore. We'll get into his stats later on. Here's his delivery and pitch to Heckman in there for a ball, 2-1. Illa with the 3-hit game on Saturday. Was the announcer's player of the game with the walk-off single.
That is correct. Yeah, he had a really nice day at the plate. 3 for 4, 3 RBI, including the game winner.
Absolutely. And he had another nice day yesterday as well, which we'll get into some of yesterday's stats throughout the game here today. So his batting average, him and Will Mitchell, the 2 sophomores, their batting average have skyrocketed in about 2 games worth. But, when you have a small sample size, Skip, right, all it takes a couple hot days. Fastball popped up. Should stay in play for Havare. Tony makes the play. 2 down. Gets a point from his pitcher, and that's a big out, getting the number 4 hitter there to chase, to chase that slider on the outside corner.
Yeah, 1 out, 2 on. Really nice to see them pop the guy up.
Skip, take us through their lineup, my man.
All right, well, we've already seen Luke Dam, second base. We got Noah Lindsay, center field, Jacob Newts catching, and Colin Heckman pitching. Right now, we've got Darren Einberger in left field, Brandon Einberger, the DH, batting after him. Luke McHugh, first base, A.J. Galvin, third base, and Jack Skoglund, the shortstop, batting ninth.
Yep, and then as we mentioned too, Brandon Einberger, the designated hitter, will be hitting for the right fielder, Adam Kruger. While we were going over that, a bang-bang pickoff play from Illa to Havari, trying to take out Newts at first, and he just got the fingernails into the base. 2 down here, first pitch to Einberger. Ball's hit, backhanded, knocked down by Havari. Plenty of time, flips it over to Illa for the 3rd out of the inning. So for Burnsville, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. We're back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the first inning here with Burnsville versus Eagan.
Shazam knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Hey, welcome to the Jungle is playing in the background. I guess that this would make sense that the Jungle, right, with the Wildcats being the logo. I'll run us through the Eagan batting lineup. We got Tate Gage, the junior, in center field. Will Mitchell, sophomore, playing right field, also the DH today. So there's a pitching change. Will Mitchell will stay in the game to hit. Brandon Lundenborg, the catcher, sophomore. Tony Havari at first. Brody Illa, you already saw him on the mound, sophomore. Batting fifth, Aiden Canty. Second base, Ryan Eckerly at short. Theo King at the hot corner, and then the left fielder is senior Joe Anderson. Eagan is coached by head coach Steve Butler, assisted by the pitching coach Luke Degremont, and assistant coach Zach Walls. And as we mentioned, for the Blaze today, it's going to be Colin Heckman on the mound, and his battery mate will be the catcher Jacob Newt. So Gage is going to step in. I'm going to pass over some hitting stats to Skip so he can fill us in throughout the day today. Even though it's windy. There's our wind. Fastball low for the first pitch from Heckman.
Yeah, I think the desire to stay dry is going to be a bit of a pipe dream because things are not looking good.
No, or it's getting windy, it's getting howly. 1-1 count. We'll just have to work it the best we can here. Got the amazing Eagan crew here today. Got Tim, the director and producer. Oh, gotta flip it around here. Ken on replays, Jared on graphics, and then the tough guy crew is Kevin, Max, and Nick that are also in the elements like Skip and myself, as I think the wind has now hit about 30 miles an hour, Skip.
Yeah, you could just see the dust blowing across the infield, slowing things down a little bit here.
You know, if you got a knuckleball, this is the inning to use it. Heater, slow roller. He's picked up from Dam over in time to first for the first out of the inning to retire Tate Gage.
Got it in on the inside on the bat there. Really slow roller to the second baseman. Good speed by Gage down the first baseline. Just got beat by about a step.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't hit very hard, so that kind of played into the factor, but. And that was Dam to McHugh. McHugh at first. We'll go over the Burnsville Blaze defense here in a second. I'll just run through some last name. There's a ball hit down the line that's going to stay fair for Mitchell as he stays hot. Going to dig for second. We're going to have a relay here from Dam to the shortstop. Not in time. One pitch, double. Mitchell went 4 for 5 yesterday with 4 RBIs. Everybody should be swinging his bat, Skip.
Yeah, nice job knocking that one down the right field line, down the first base side. Despite the strong winds, it stayed fair, and I like how he legged out that double with a nice head first slide, as you can see here, beating it plenty of time.
You know, I thought it was a little bit of a risk just because it got out there so quick, but then it pulled Kruger so far down that line that it was a long relay throwing it against the wind, right? Even though he was potentially running against the wind, and he was able to scoot in pretty easily for that leadoff double. So the catcher is going to be sophomore Brandon Lundenborg, and he's going to step in for his first RBI opportunity of the day. Fastball is in there for a delayed strike. Across the outfield and Illa for the most part, but Heckman definitely a little more fastball heavy early on. Granted, we haven't seen a whole lot of pitches because Gage swung at the second one, Mitchell swung at the first one. So that's going to catch Lundenborg on the fingers, and he is hurting on that one. Probably caught him across the knuckles.
Yeah, that hit him right on the knuckles as he was squeezing the bat.
The question is are they going to call it a hit by pitch, or are they going to say that it's a fall tip?
He initially
it was definitely on the hand.
Fall,
it was
right.
definitely on the hand, but it's a combo, right? A, did he offer, and then it hit his hand, which I don't think he did. The one play that the home plate ump can't always see is if it actually hit the knob of the bat or if it actually hit his hand, right? So that's more than likely what we're talking through. And they're going to say it was a hit by pitch, which was the right call. So Heckman now with Mitchell at second as well as Lundenborg. There's our quick replay. Nice job by Ken giving us that quick replay. Look at that, Skip. Ooh, I think it was the left pinky knuckle.
Ouch.
That's going to bring in the pinch runner, the courtesy runner, the speedster Eddie Moore, and he's going to run for the catcher Lundenborg. Yes, so across the outfield, Darren Einberger. Center field, as we mentioned, Noah Lindsay. Right fielders, Adam Kruger. Infield, A.J. Galvin. Jack Skoglund at short. Luke Dam at second. Luke McHugh at first. Jacob Newts catching. Colin Heckman on the mound. Fastball up and away for a ball to Tony Havare, the first baseman here today for the Wildcats, who also has been swinging a hot bat as well. Skip, I think a double yesterday, a couple hits. I believe on Saturday as well.
Yeah, 1 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 walks yesterday.
Yep.
Doing a really nice job recently.
Yeah, he's just a big, strong kid, right? And I just feel like he takes really good, plate approach at the plate, right? Good at bats. Doesn't really get overworked very often. And now is just kind of, also taking over and manning first base. To start the year, they had him more as the designated hitter. Now he's kind of settled into that first baseman as well. Get a little bit of a trickle of a rain here. I don't remember where.
One thing I'd like to see from the Wildcats today is to clean up some of the base running mistakes that we saw in Saturday's contest against Grand Rapids. They were either caught stealing or picked off bases fairly regularly, in fact, twice in the 7th inning alone.
Mitchell trying to attempt to steal, and he's going to be hosed at third. Eddie Moore does scoot into second, but Eagan with runners on first and second, now with 1 out, now looking at only Eddie Moore at second with 2 outs. Looks like we have a 2-1 count. No, 1-2 count. Excellent throw by Newts. Ooh, hand almost got in there for a second, I thought. Closer than we thought there, Skip. 2-1 count to Havare, big swing. 2-2 evens up, 2 down. Heckman on the mound. Hopefully it's a quick drizzle here, Skip.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna
have to play through it.
Exactly.
Havari strikes out for Eagan in the bottom of the first. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds here for the top of the second.
Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing this song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat.
Thank you so much.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
What's doing time for dinner?
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Okay, here we are. We're back here in the top of the second inning, and we're trying to move around here and make sure that we can keep equipment dry, as well as, I mean, I don't mind getting a little wet, but keep equipment dry, paperwork dry, everything dry. We'll see how long we get this drizzle and if we play through it. There is sunny skies, so we're hoping that this is just a quick kind of 5-minute sprinkle, right? So, Skip, who we got batting here, because I can't really use any of my equipment right now. Base hit right away up the middle.
Brandon Eiberger, the designated hitter, first pitch swinging.
First pitch swinging was Einberger as he puts that one up the middle, and I believe it's another Einberger. No, actually, it was Darren to Brandon. Yep, so now Luke McHugh, the first baseman, steps in. Lefty swinging. Einberger at first. Burnsville did get 2 hits in the first inning, but stranded both those runners. And then for the Wildcats, they had a double by Will Mitchell. Swing on the first pitch as the second hitter. Another first pitch swinging. That's going to be popped up. It's going to be over to the second baseman and caught by Aiden Canty. So 2 pitches, 1 out, 1 hit. Always interesting to me, Skip, if if it's a team approach, a player approach, a first time through the order approach of, ready to swing and jump on that first pitch, right?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of first pitch fastballs, and
on both sides, right?
Let's remember, we're all human out here. The rain and the wind might play a factor as well. It's like I don't want to sit up here for as longer than I have to. If I get a juicy one on pitch 1, I'm going to go ahead and swing at it.
Yeah. Nope, absolutely. And that's going to have A.J. Galvin, the third baseman, now up. Einberger on first, the second base hit of the game up the middle. That's going to be a hot shot out to right. That looks like it's going to get past Mitchell. That will get past Mitchell. That's going to send Einberger over to third. They're going to hold him up in a double on a nice piece of hitting of going with the pitch there by Galvin, the third baseman.
Yeah, nice job, Galvin, taking that one the opposite way, hitting it over the head in right field. Well done by the Wildcats on the relay, making sure they were hitting the cutoff man to keeping that from go ahead and getting that runner all the way home from first.
Yeah, so we can see Galvin was thinking 2 right away out of the gate, and and obviously that wind, obviously was a big factor in that, right? Because you could tell that ball was hit. I think Mitchell thought that he could take a couple steps back and maybe make a play, and then at the same time, that thing got over his head pretty quickly. All right, slow roller to Eckerly. There's going to be play at the plate. He's going to throw it into Lunenborg. Now we're going to have a little hot box action. They're going to run him back to third, and he's going to be safe. So that was the number 9 hitter. That was Jack Skoglund first pitch swinging. It looked like there was a contact play, and in doing so, I think a little bit of holding onto it a little too long, Skip.
Yep, exactly. They did a nice job of cutting off the run. Well played there by Eckerly, coming home, getting in front of the base runner. Just held on a little bit too long there by Lunenburg. The catcher didn't quite throw it to third quick enough to get the out.
So top of the lineup here, bases loaded, 1 out. And that's going to bring up Luke Dam, the second baseman. Luke Dam struck out in the first at-bat of the game. So 0-1 count here with Illa on the mound, 1 out. Bases loaded across the field. We got Einberger, Galvin, and Skoglund at first. Pitch by Illa, fly ball to right. Mitchell's got a beat on it, makes the play. That's going to bring in Einberger for the first run of the game, and then doing so also send Galvin over to third. So nice job by Illa. The previous at-bat did a nice job of getting a ground ball, and they just unfortunately were unable to get that out either at home or the hot box. Maybe could have got out of that inning, Skip, but also does bear down in these ugly conditions, gets a fly ball out to Mitchell, and still has a chance to get out of here only with that 1 run.
Yeah, really nice job in right field there by Mitchell. He's fighting the wind out there.
Correct.
He's fighting the elements, and he's stuck with it. Well played out and right. Nice piece of hitting as well, getting the sac fly.
Yep, absolutely. So it'll be the number 2 hitter of the lineup is the center fielder, and that's Noah Lindsay. Noah had a base hit up the middle, first hit of the game in the first, but was stranded on the base pass. Burnsville 2 hits this inning. They had the fielder's choice that put, I think it was, where we had Skoglund on base, yeah. All right, well, we're gonna earn our paycheck today, Skip.
Yeah, I feel like you're camping in the rain with the sound of that rain on the
fly ball once again
umbrella.
hit out to Mitchell. He's getting a lot of action this inning. Mitchell comes through, makes the catch. So for the Burnsville Blaze in the top of the second inning, they do get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds, and hopefully the rain will not be with us.
I'll see y'all. I got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Time for dinner.
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
All right, we're back here at the bottom of the second inning. The sun is coming out. I believe the dark skies have moved along. We're going to keep the umbrella up for safety precautionary reasons. Maybe I'll catch a lightning bolt, who knows. But we're going to just keep it up here just for a little bit just to make sure we don't catch any more rain and keep our equipment nice and dry. As we mentioned, Burnsville did score 1 in that last inning, but excellent job by Brody Illa, the sophomore, right, Skip, of limiting the damage, and very well could have gotten out of that inning with no runs.
Exactly, yeah. They had the play at third. They couldn't quite get the hot box out after that fielder's choice. That gave them an extra out. They capitalized.
Yeah. And then he just got back-to-back fly balls to right to Will Mitchell. So, you know, with Brody Illa, the pitcher that's coming up on deck, I know you got those hitting stats. Why don't you fill us in on Brody a little bit before it gets too wet on us? Okay, well, 1 second. We have to see if we can get Skip back up. I don't know if, hopefully we didn't lose Skip. See if you're plugged in the back there. We'll let Skip work on that. Here, I'll jump in. Skip, are we here? Are you with us?
I don't know. Am I here? I think you can hear me now. There we go.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. We'll let this thing sit out here and dry a little bit. So Brody Illa steps in, as Skip was saying. He's been a hot hitter as of late. Batting .400 on the season, .550 on base percentage. Tied for the team lead with 5 RBIs with another sophomore in Will Mitchell. So I was telling Skip a little bit before the game that those two guys had hot bats as well as yesterday in their win over Rosemont. Heckman, a little pitcher v pitcher matchup here. First pitch is a ball in the outside corner. Heater in there for a strike. One pitch, low for a ball. Big swing by Illa. 2-2 is our count. Two count as Heckman's trying to work some of that grimy grunk out of his cleats. And you know, Skip, and I'll jump on that in a second here, fastball is out for a ball. It is always interesting, Skip. It seems to always work this way, that it's a never an even effect for one team or the other for who gets to be in the field during the rain and who gets to hit during the rain, right?
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate that it worked out the way that it did.
Yeah.
Just enough rain to be annoying, as Illa does a nice job working out the walk there, getting a leadoff base runner here for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Illa, like we said, as I hinted at before, with a 550 on base percentage. So he shows you how he can he finds his way on the base pass consistently. That's going to bring up the second baseman, I believe, right?
Yep, Aiden Canty. Yep.
Perfect, thank you. And then we do have a courtesy runner for the pitcher, and that looks like that's going to be, I think, Brandon Mademan. I'll double check here in one quick second as I'm still wiping down all of the fun stuff that got wet. You know, it'd be one thing, Skip, as we talked about this, we kind of tend to talk about this, and I know it's a little bit of a broken record. It'd be one thing to be able to wipe this stuff down on a nice day with no wind, but we know that that is something that's not possible here in Eagan. There's wind every single game at Wildcat Park. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1 count to Canty, the second baseman. Pass this along back to Skip. You can fill us in on what Canty's been doing here so far this season.
Last game against Rosemont, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI, scored 2 runs as well. So a big game there for the Wildcats, and Canty was jumping in on the fun. Yeah,
so I think what you're kind of noticing, Skip, here, because I know this is your third game now of Wildcat baseball, and I've done either the games on TV or the PA announcements, and they've played a home-heavy start to the season, is you're kind of seeing some guys, you know, winning some jobs and kind of taking some spots, right? So Canty, you know, is a utility player. Now he's kind of seeming to find a spot at second base. You know, Will Mitchell can play some second, so can Matt Cunningham. Heckman to Canty, 2-1 count. Keeping an eye on the runner. Fastball's low. And then, you know, also, you know, Illa and Mitchell, you know, the guys that were pitchers only last season are now, their bats are obviously not, like we talked about, are going to be needed. And then at the same time, they're coming through and delivering, right? And then so they're earning playing time in the field on the days that they're not pitching. 3-1 pitch, fastball's up. Second walk of the day. Back-to-back walks Now we're going to see the shortstop, the senior, Ryan Eckerly.
2 walks to lead off the inning. This is a big at-bat for Eckerly. He had a nice game on Saturday. Hit a double to right field.
Yeah.
Scored a run as well.
No, for sure. Eckerly steps in, senior shortstop. He's going to be the mainstay there all season. Wildcats 2-5 overall. Got their first conference win yesterday, 11-5 win, 11-4 win against Rosemont, showing bunt. And we're going to send the runner, and Galvin misses the tag on an excellent throw once again by the catcher, Newts. Newts has got a cannon for an arm behind the plate. Had Mademan gunned down at third as we see this replay, the excellent replay, and an excellent job of diving in. Yeah, no, it was a good call. Got that oven mitt in first, got the tag on the left hand, but his right hand was on the base. Canty stays at first. I don't think that was a straight steal, Skip. I think that was a runner that was anticipating the bunt was going to be put down in fair play.
Absolutely, but he did a nice job of sliding towards the outfield side and avoiding that tag, kind of leaning to his right. Well played there by Illa.
Absolutely. So now the interesting thing is, does that take away the bunt, or does Eckerly still try to put one down maybe to the first base side, like make a little safety squeeze, and then also maybe to get Canty over to second. 1-0 is our score, as Burnsville did score in the top of the second on a sacrifice fly out to right field that brought in Einberger. Who had the RBI there for Burnsville, Skip? You can fill us in on that sac fly.
That was the leadoff hitter, second baseman Luke Dam.
There we go. There we go. So he adds to his RBI total on the season. 1-1 count, nobody down here. Bottom of the second, heater outside for a ball. Primarily have seen fastballs from Heckman today. Maybe I just have missed, the changeups or the curveballs or sliders, and he looks to be trying to work his work out to most of the hitters right and left. 2-1 count, nobody down. Eckerly, fastball again out. Illa reached on a walk. Was courtesy ran for by the freshman Brandon Madaman, and then Aiden Canty followed up with a quick walk. So nobody down here. Eagan trying to flip their lineup around here as they got their 8 and 9 hitters on deck and in the hole as a fastball is in there for a strike to make it a full count. Another good crowd, people bearing the weather, right, Skip?
Yeah, things are picking up. It seemed like 2 minutes before the game started, there was nobody here,
Right.
But all of a sudden we got the usual crowd, the usual fans.
Absolutely. And the third walk of the inning. And, I guess, I was, kind of mentioning about, Illa had to pitch in the rain, and then maybe it's a little bit more now of Heckman having to deal with the, a muddier, rubber and mound, right? That, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
Just got to try to find a way to make adjustments, throw strikes, let your defense make some plays behind you.
And at this point, he's probably got it in his head a little bit. He's struggling with his control. He knows he is. He's walked all 3 batters. The bases loaded. Still nobody out.
Right.
Needs to just get ahead of hitters.
Corners are in, which is Gelvin at third and McHugh at first. First pitch to Theo King, the third baseman, is in there for a strike. We're going to have Skoglund, the shortstop, and Luke Dam, the second baseman, playing back for the double play ball. They're going to be happy to give up a run if they can get 2 outs in doing so. King has some pop in his bat, has some good at-bats throughout the season. Fouls one off. What do you got for stats from you on Theo King?
Theo King, 3 for 3 stolen bases, on base percentage 353 with 1 double on the season. He's scored 2 runs.
There we go. So he's found the gap for at least a double this season. Speedster on the bases. Eagan coming into today, 18 of 21, Skip, on stolen bases. That's a high volume early on in the season and a excellent high percentage. And as we talked before, and as we kind of did a little bit of a season preview, game 1, losing all those seniors, losing a lot of that pop in the bat. Not that these guys don't have pop in the bat, just, you didn't know what you were going to get coming into the year. Small ball, moving up bases to bases, stealing bases were going to be needed. There's that ground ball to Skoglund. He's going to flip it over to Dam. Dam's relay to first, not in time. Madiman comes in and scores. Wheels by King makes it to break up that double play. So Eagan ties her up here at 1-1. Bring up the senior left fielder, Joe Anderson, batting in the number 9 hole. Here's our replay. Slow roller, nice job of the scoop and flip over from Skoglund to Dam, but the speed by King beats it out.
Yeah, I think the fact that it hit the grass and seemed to slow down on the way to short, that's what prevented the double play from happening. If he'd have charged that, he might have had a chance.
Correct, right. And a good relay, strong throw by Dam at second. Just the speed by King beat it out. So now you're going to have Canty at third, King at first, Anderson at the plate. 1-0 count. Heckman on the mound to his battery mate, Jacob Newts behind the plate. And Jacob Newts is going to do all he can here today to kind of erase that running game, too, as we've seen. Already threw out a runner at third, and then a excellent slide by Madiman got him a stolen base on one that probably should have been another throw out. So Eagan now 19 for 23, Skip, if my math's correct. Anderson has excellent speed as well. I think he's about 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 on the year on the stolen bases as Heckman comes in for a strike.
We saw in the top half of the inning, the Blaze took advantage of getting the extra out, scoring the run. Wildcats given the same gift here. Hopefully they can make things happen.
Right, absolutely. 2-1 count, 1 down. Heckman's pitch. Big swing by Anderson. Evens it up at 2-2. Canty reached on a walk, the second walk of the inning. The third walk of the inning was Eckerly, retired at second on the fielder's choice by King. 1-1 score. Wildcat Park. Wind starting to slow down a little bit from left field to right. They're going to send King, and he's going to be in standing up for another stolen base. Good pitch by Heckman. Didn't miss by much, did it, Skip?
No, that was really close. I kept my eye on the home plate umpire waiting for that hand to come up. It did not, and no throw down to second, so avoiding the potential double play here with the stolen base.
Yep. So now Anderson can try to dig in and get a little 2-for-1 RBI action here with a base hit. Trying to flip that lineup over to the top to take Gage. Heater up high. Fourth walk of the inning by Heckman. It's going to send Joe Anderson down the line. Might bring out a conference call at the mound as we're going to wait for Tate Gage, the senior, to step in. And I will say this, it's, you know, when you say 4 walks at an inning, Skip, you know, that tends to be that the pitcher is all over the place. It's high, it's low, it's in the dirt. That really hasn't been the case with Heckman this inning. It's been, for the most part, around the plate.
Yeah, the batters are doing a nice job of laying off some fairly close pitches, and now that, you know, it's the momentum building within the inning, right? That, you know, once the couple of batters see, okay, he's missing close, I'm gonna make him throw strikes before I even take the bat off my shoulder, and they're, you know, the pitcher's getting behind in the count. And when the batter's ahead, they have that luxury of just being patient and waiting for their pitch.
And you know what? I mean, that is the definition of a teammate, and more importantly, your battery mate, right? They call it the battery, the pitcher and the catcher. We got the catcher cleaning off the cleats of Heckman. And it's an excellent job by the camera crew to zoom in on that. You can see, obviously, how quickly that the mound and the mud, obviously, have encapsulated Heckman's cleats. But, you know, I will say this. I mean, it's, you know, we haven't seen him fall down off the mound, right? We haven't seen a pitch, you know, go over the, you know, the catcher, you know, into the backstop, right? So, I mean, yes, he might be slipping, but obviously he's still getting plenty of heat and control for the most part on it. I mean, he's just been missing a little bit in the outside corner. A few of those pitches to his righties have been, you know, up and in. I think he's trying to, you know, command the inside plate. So Tate Gage, the junior center fielder, big swing. Bases are loaded here for the Wildcats in the bottom of the second. They've already plated one runner, We have Canty at third, King at second, Anderson at first. Hot shot down the line by Gage. Canty in, King in. Anderson playing it safe at second is going to hold up. 2 RBIs, second pitch swinging for Tate Gage.
Right down the line, just kept that one fair. Excellent job knocking in 2 runs.
Here you go, Skip, walk us through it. You're just kind of talking before you even saw it.
Exactly, right down the line, and you see the good job by the left fielder getting in front of it, but bobbling the ball. I'm a little surprised Eagan wasn't able to take advantage and get to third base. Of course, he probably already made the decision to, I'm gonna keep it close, keep it safe, not get thrown out on the base pass, especially at third. And by the time he realized the ball was bobbled, it was too late.
And it'd be such a short throw from, where the fence was to third base. So, I mean, it would have been a bang-bang play potentially. Heckman's pitch is a ball to the number 2 hitter in the lineup. And that is Willie Mitchell, the sophomore, playing right field, also DHing. So if Illa comes out, Mitchell will more than likely stay in as the designated hitter, and Illa might run out to right field. We'll see how that plays out. 1-0 count, 1 down, 3-1 score. Curveball in there for a strike. Joe Anderson at second. He was the 4th batter of this inning to get a free pass from Heckman. And Gage with the first hit of the inning, a 2 RBI single down the third base line. Heckman's heater fouled back by Mitchell. Give us some of those hot stats for Mitchell there, Skip.
Yeah, like you said, he's been swinging a hot bat. Yesterday at Rosemount, 3 for 4 with 4 RBI. So just a huge game there for Mitchell. And then on Saturday, he was 2 for 3 with another RBI and a stolen base.
Yeah, what's his average in OBP? Because I think with these 2 games, that's just been ballooned.
545 batting average, 615 on base percentage.
Right. I mean, small sample size, right? I think, what does he have, like a 13, 11 at-bats, I think it was, or something like that in the season. But obviously, what that's showing you is that he's half of his at-bats, he's finding a way to not only put the ball in play, but find that open spot and get on base.
And he's 1 for 1 with a double here already today.
Absolutely. Runners go, swing and miss, strike 3. Safe at third is Anderson. Another nice strong throw by Newts. So a double steal was put on as Gage and Anderson both get a steal. Contact play, a little hit and run there. Strong throw by Newts. Looks like ball potentially beat him, but the tag just wasn't in time. I will say this though, on these steals to third, it looks, it's kind of tough probably to the fans' eyes where it looks like the ball's beating them. But the Eagan runners are doing a nice job of sliding to the backside of the base.
Absolutely, and they're doing a nice job with the umpire out in the field. He's in a perfect position to see that, a completely different angle than even that you and I have, and certainly the fans here.
Yep. Well, and obviously the Burnsville Blaze fans know how strong their catcher's arm is. So that's just where they're sitting there going, it's a bang-bang play. I thought we had him, and they're just not seeing that arm is getting to the backside of the base. 0-1 count here early on to Lunenborg. Now quickly 0-2 as Heckman blows that heater by him. 2 down, 3-1 is our score. Blaze out hitting the Wildcats through the first 2 innings 3-2, but Heckman, a little bit of control issues with 4 walks here in the bottom of the second. The sophomore hitting his catcher, Lunenborg, gets hit by pitch for the second time. So 1,000% on the on-base percentage here today for the catcher. And we're going to probably see Eddie Moore come back in the game and do some courtesy running. We get another replay of a hit by pitch. Look at the crystal clear camera work. He even tucked that thing in. He didn't want to get hit there, Skip. He wanted to hit that time.
Yeah, except I'd rather take it on that one instead of taking it off the knuckles like he did last time. That knuckles one, my hands are still hurting just watching that.
Right. So Eddie Moore, the speedster, hops in to run for Lunenborg. I believe has 5 runs on the year, maybe all 5 for Lunenborg. Fastball on the outside corner, the first baseman, Tony Havare. So bases are loaded. Anderson, the number 9 hitter, at third, was the 4th walk of the game, of the inning, Gage at second. That ball's inside. And then now Eddie Moore, the courtesy runner, at first. Eagan looking to blow this thing wide open here in the bottom of the second.
Been a long inning, 35 pitches so far, according to my stats. I mean, definitely looking to get out of this as the Wildcats are batted around.
Hit, right? Maybe spend some time in the dugout. get some high fives from the teammates. Slider misses up high. 2-1. Our count 2 down. Wildcat Park. Wind has cooled down. Sun is out. It does feel like baseball weather now, Skip, here in April.
Yeah, just a half inning of craziness.
Ugliness. A big bounce off the mound that eats up Dam at second. That's going to bring in Anderson as well as Gage, and it's going to send the speedster Moore over to third. Nice piece of hitting, hot shot by Avari. It picked up some speed off of the side of that mound, and kind of a tough spot there for the second baseman, kind of no man's land, right? Either try to come in and get it on the high bounce or stay back and get it on the short bounce, and took a bad hop on him on that second bounce, as you can see here.
Yeah, you could almost see the look on his face when it hit that mound. He knew this was not going to be an easy play. That's definitely some bad luck there.
So it looks like the official score is going to be an error on that play. Null and void those 2 RBIs for Avari, but Eagan now up 5-1, and we're going to see a quick pitching change as we're going to see number 7 come in, and I'm going to find my sheet here in a second. That's going to be John Santelman. So Heckman's day isn't fully done, but a short outing, and as you mentioned, Skip, a lot of pitches thrown here in the second inning. Well, let Skip do some math. How about that? We're going to throw it back to the truck as we get warm-up pitches here from Sandelman. Oh, yeah, we can do some standings. Why not? Let's do that. Let's get those graphics in that our crew does such a nice job with as we watch Sandelman here warm up. So as you can see, Farmington up top, 7-0. Oh, maybe it's flipped around here. 5-0 in the conference. Prior Lake sitting at 5-1. Shakopee at 4-1. Burnsville at 4-3. And then Eagan now at 1-5 in the conference. I guess maybe it's just the Farmington, the one that threw me in the loop a little bit. On the conference side, it says they're 7, and overall it says that they're 5. But as you can see right now, Rosemont looking for their first win. But a lot of teams, Skip, have bunched up in that middle area, kind of 3 through 8.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely some room for the Wildcats to move up. Of course, Burnsville as well. They're sitting in a pretty good position right in the middle. They can get up into that upper tier if they can just continue to play good baseball like they have. Of course, today giving up more runs than they have so far this season. So this is a bit of an atypical performance, I think, for the Blaze.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So Santelman will come in, righty throwing. He's going to face right away Brody Illa, the pitcher for the Wildcats. The big thing will be interesting for Brody will be is what he's like coming back on the mound after a long inning on the bench.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, this is his second time coming up to bat this inning. He began the inning with a walk, and that was one of the 4 walks given up this inning by Heckman.
Absolutely. But when runs are being scored as a starting pitcher, you'll stay in that dugout and you'll find a way to get loose. So Illa will step in. Havari's at first. 2 RBI on that air to Dam at second. And Eddie Moore scooted over to third after Brandon Lundenborg, the catcher, was hit by pitch for the second time today. I don't know if there's a rivalry between the Blaze and Lundenborg. I'm not sure. Played a little cat and mouse game as Havari was going to stay in a hot box and try to get in another run, but in doing so, Moore was smart on the base passes and hopped back to third. Havari, I think, now 3 for 3 on the year for stolen bases for the big first baseman.
I was going to ask if statistically you do award a stolen base when there is no contest like that.
I think so. I mean, I think in that play there is because of game and score. I think, obviously what you see is, in the majors, right, it'll be the 9th inning, a team is down by 4, there's 1 out, and the guy just takes off. They call that, catcher indifference, pitcher indifference. So I think on the high school level, they tend to give out as much stats as possible, right?
I'm totally comfortable with that.
Yeah. 3-0 count to Illa, who looks to get his second walk of the inning. The kid just wants to swing the bat because it's been hot. 3 hits on Saturday with the game winner against the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. walk-off hit in the 7th. He had a double yesterday. And he'll take his walk down to first. We'll probably see another courtesy runner again, maybe Brandon Madiman.
Now batting, a sophomore, number 33.
So the sophomore is going to be the second baseman, Aiden Canty. And yes, we will see Madiman come in to run for Illa.
Canty also walked and scored a run earlier this inning.
Okay. So bases full once again. Eddie Moore, courtesy runner for Lunenburg at third. Pitch by Centelman. Misses in to Canty. Second base is Havari. First base is the courtesy runner Madiman. 1-0 count, 2 down. 5-1 score. Curveball in there for a strike by Santelman.
Canty with 3 RBI so far this season has an opportunity to put a couple more up right here.
Yeah, could double it with something in the gap. Slider in there for a strike. 1-2 count. (5-1) score. Eagan scoring all 5 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd. Canty holds his swing. They want to check with the base ump. 2-2 count, 2 down.
Nice job by Canty there, keeping his hands back, making sure he didn't break the plane there for strike 3.
Yeah, I think they tend to say, break your wrist, right? I mean, that's, the beauty of the majors, you got umps on both down both lines, right? So they even have a better view. I always think that it's, a lot of times when you throw it to the base ump, especially if he's not down the first baseline, right? If he's, where he is now, it's a lot of times it feels like it's like a 50-50 call anyways, right? So Santelman, nice job by Canty though, making getting that count to full and getting a walk, getting an RBI as well, getting the 6th run across. They'll bring up the senior shortstop, which is Ryan Eckerly. What is that, the 5th walk or 6th walk of the inning here, Skip?
That's walk number 6, and we also had a hit batter this inning as well. I mean, we're still looking at one hit on the inning.
Absolutely. Fastball in there for a strike by Sandelman to Eckerly. Havari at third, Madiman at first, Madiman at second, Canty at first, 2 down, 0-1 count. Pitch, curveball inside to Eckerly. Evens it up at 1s. The other thing too, Skip, is this Burnsville Blaze defense hasn't seen a ball hit their way in a long time.
Yeah, you get to see outfielders get a little bit
antsy, right?
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
They just want to run down something, right? 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Sandelman. Curveball catches the outside corner for the strike 3, but Eagan comes through in a big way. 6 runs on only that 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the top of the 3rd. Burnsville versus Eagan here on Eagan TV.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
TV, Casey Lux, my right-hand man, literally sitting on my right side, Skip Newton, for our 3rd game together on the early season of Eagan. Eagan with a heavy home schedule to start the year, Skip, and they're going to be playing a lot of road games for that second half of the season.
Yeah, I like that they have some home games early, despite the fact that maybe we're, as the broadcasters, getting treated to less than favorable conditions, although right now it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But, you get home, get comfortable, get things figured out like you talked about, how some batters are trying to figure out where they fit in the lineup. Some guys are getting hot. Things are coming together. They're scoring runs these last 2 games coming in today, and they put a 5 spot on the board with the courtesy of quite a few walks. But they're making things happen. That's not just against the Burnsville pitcher, but that's the batters being patient, being smart, and not swinging at bad pitches.
Absolutely, for sure. So the catcher's going to come up, lead off this inning, which is Jacob Newts. Remind me, Skip, what Newts did in that first at-bat in the first inning.
He walked full count and got to first base.
Okay.
Did not get any farther than that.
Okay. Burnsville did score a run in the second to take a early 1-0 lead when Eagan fouled that up and answered back with 6 in the bottom of the second. Illa, fastball in there for a strike. And that's what you got to love to see as the pitching coach, Luke Degermont, is to see your pitcher, your sophomore, who has plenty of experience, to come out and throw a strike right away after a long inning in the dugout. Fastball misses on the outside corner.
It's been so long, people might forget what that half inning looked like. It was raining, it was windy, it was completely different circumstances, and despite the fact that 6 batters came to the plate, 9 pitches for Illa in the top half of the second. So a fast inning despite the fact that there was a lot going on.
That's what you and I were talking about a little bit off air, was there's only 9 pitches thrown. Burnsville still found a way to put a run across, and Eagan still found a way to end that threat pretty quickly. Slider misses just up. Quickly now, 3-1. So after starting out 0-1, now ran himself into a little bit of trouble here against the catcher, Jacob Newts. Fastball swinging, foul back into track and field territory. They got I think a triangular today, Skip. A lot happening here today.
Yeah, it was a full parking lot that I only took a couple of laps around before I had to go find some street parking. It's like, okay, this is just not going to happen today.
Strike 3 low, but in there for a strike as Newts goes down. So Illa does a nice job of starting the account 0-1, pushes it to 3-1, and comes back with 2 straight strikes. It's going to send up now the new pitcher, which is John Santelman. And he's going to come in for Heckman, who started the game. First pitch from Illa. Curveball outside.
Close the books on the pitcher Colin Heckman through 51 pitches, 1 2/3 innings pitched. 4 walks, couple hit batters, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, and 5 runs.
Okay. And I think, and maybe not all 5. I mean, I guess the other thing would be interesting, right? And I should be a little bit better of an official score with that error that brought in 2. Maybe he might have dodged 1 or 2 of those runs, but all in all, I mean, it was the walks really that hurt, because it was only really Gage's double was the one he had of the inning. Ground ball to Eckerly, scooped up, throw to Avari in time. And if you're watching here on TV, you'll notice that the Burnsville Blaze do have the Burnsville Police and Fire Department decals on their helmets, so a nice touch by their high school. Hot shot over to King and caught, so another quick inning for Illa. 1, 2, 3, Blaze go down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the third with Eagan leading the Blaze 6-1 here on Eagan TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Okay, here we are back. Casey Luck, Skip Newton. Sunny skies, upcoming coverage here on Eagan TV. You won't get to hear Skip, but you will get to hear your favorite Eagan Wildcat, voice of the Wildcat, Casey Lux. I'll be doing that game on Thursday, and that'll be against Apple Valley. And then you got boys volleyball coming up on Thursday as well at 7. And then we have a softball tournament, 7 schools, starting Saturday at 2:30. I think we're going to have Scott Sefby, I think, will be our color man filling in for Skip come Thursday. So today was a makeup game from, I believe, last week. I think, right, Skip? Last week, Monday or Tuesday was today's game?
That's a good question. It was last week. It might have been Wednesday. Yeah,
okay.
It was Wednesday's game. The Tuesday was the day where it was nothing but rain.
Correct.
And so pretty much went to bed Tuesday night knowing that this game was not going to be played last Wednesday.
Correct. Okay, yep, good call. And yeah, and I know that they were debating between playing it on Friday or today. Eagan was in a tough spot because, and I'm sure Burnsville was too, right? Both teams have a bunch of games already lined up. They typically play Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Eagan this week now playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So a lot of ball for the boys, but with them getting, a win on Saturday, getting that first win, getting their first conference win on Monday, to just keep playing and not practice might be their best recipe to get on the roll here.
Yeah, exactly. You get hot, you start winning games. You want to get back out there and keep that streak going. So far so good today, but there's a lot of baseball left.
Absolutely, a lot of game left. Theo King, the third baseman, steps in, leading off the inning. Sandelman's pitch is low on the curveball, so it's 2-2 now is our count. Nobody down with the number 9 hitter, Joe Anderson, the senior left fielder, out on deck. Got a rainbow in the right center field now, Skip. Some colors. Ground ball hit to Skoglund. Bad hop. Tough play for Skoglund. Caught that lip and shot up over his shoulder for a infield hit, basically, for King.
Yeah, that's a really bad hop. I mean, he had that thing perfectly measured. He had the glove down low like you're taught. You always start low and come up, and boy, did that thing jump up over his shoulder.
Yeah. Now, the one saving grace is he didn't take that in the teeth, basically, right? I mean, he was right there, had a beat on it, was going to get that relay over to McHugh in time. Sandelman does his job on a 2-2 pitch to induce a ground ball just to, it's just how baseball works, right? Senior left fielder, Joe Anderson. Fastball misses in. Anderson, I believe, walked as well last inning, correct?
Walked, stole a base, and scored a run.
Okay.
One of the 6 runs that the Wildcats put across the board in the bottom half of the second.
Filled up the stat sheet there pretty quickly. Another fastball in from Sandelman misses. King at first. It'll be interesting to see if Wildcats send King on the bases. King, I believe, what has he got for stolen bases this year, Skip?
3 for 3.
There we go.
I'm starting to figure things out with you, Casey. I was already starting to look.
I like it.
Before you asked, I'm anticipating what's coming next.
I like to spend a little time on stats so that way we can throw a little numbers to folks that are listening at home. Try to get some more stats from the visiting teams here in the upcoming games potentially as well. Gives us more things to talk about, right? Also get to pat the players on the back a little bit for their achievements. 3-0 quickly to Anderson with the leadoff hitter Gage on deck. That misses. So Anderson now will move down to first, King to second. Tate Gage, the leadoff hitter, will step in. And he had the big hit last inning, didn't he, Skip?
Yes, he did. He had a hit, a stolen base, a run scored, and 2 RBI. He's 1 for 2 on the day already here in the third.
And I think he kind of found himself his spot at the leadoff spot, too, with his speed and also his bat control. They're going to bring McHugh in just in case there's a bunt. Fakes the bunt in there for a strike. They're going to hold the third baseman, Galvin, with runners on first and second. So McHugh playing in on the grass. And we'll see if Gage can actually, if he does get a bunt down, Skip, see if he can put one down that third base line, maybe get himself an infield drag bunt. 0-1 pitch. Curveball up high in there for strike. Quickly 0-2 to Gage. King at second. Anderson at first. 6-1 is our score with Eagan leading. All the action happened in the second. 1 run by Burnsville, 6 by the Wildcats. Fastball, swing on and miss. Excuse me, fouled off. Just got out of the glove of the catcher, Newts.
Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Nice job here by Sandelman after the 4-pitch walk, getting ahead of Gage and throwing 3 straight strikes.
Yep, absolutely. Especially, facing the top of the lineup. Runners on first and second. If he can find a way to get a strikeout here, it'll even be better. 0-2 pitch, nobody down. Swung on, popped up. McHugh's got room. He's going to have to fight off the sun, and he does for the out. Oh, yeah, that sun was right in McHugh's face. Sophomore coming up, Will Mitchell. Had a double down the first base line. I believe that was in the second, right, Skip?
First inning, actually. He was the second batter. Then he was caught stealing, and then he struck out swinging back in the second inning. So this is already his third plate appearance.
Yeah, and he got caught stealing at third. It wasn't the second with a strong throw by Newts. Sandelman on the mound. Fastball. Hot shot. Backhand play. Nice one by Skoglund. To Dam. To McHugh. Double play. Excellent fielding by the Blaze. Skoglund to Dam to McHugh to close out the inning, and an excellent inning by Sandelman as he settled back in. So for Eagan, in the bottom of the third, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left down. Back in 60 seconds for the top of the 4th inning with the Blaze coming to the plate on Eagan TV.
Do you want to go grab some frozen yogurt tonight?
Maybe another time. Thanks, though.
Hey, Charles, how do you like your burger?
Ooh, well done, I hope. I love this tree. Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour.
Come on, sit down.
Okay, guys, what do you think? That is you.
Oh, you got jokes. You're funny.
That is you, and that is your son, and your other son.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Okay, we're back here. Looks like Coach Butler had a little conversation with Brody Illa. Maybe, I don't know if there was something happening on the arm side, leg side, or what side of things. So now I think we're going to have to do a pitching change, as we're going to kind of have to wait and see what happens here. And I don't know if that was a plan change or not. As I mentioned earlier, I thought that obviously, or at least the Eagan strategy was to have, Will Mitchell start in right field but be the designated hitter, so that way when Brody Illa's day was done, that then Brody would just go out to right and then Mitchell would stay in the game as a hitter. So that's not the case. So instead we're going to see Ben Shilgren will step in. And Ben is a sophomore. And this will only be his 3rd outing of the season here, Skip. We saw him on Saturday in the 7th inning against the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. So Illa's day is done. So once you're done tallying, you let me know what we had for Illa through 3 innings.
Will do. I'm getting close here.
Sure, no worries. I'll give you Brody's stats coming into today. How about that, since I had those ready as well. So coming in today's game, Brody Illa had 2 games pitched, both started, went 6 2/3. 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. So an excellent strikeout to walk ratio, a very slim 2.1 ERA. Just had some bad luck, really. He has 2 losses on the season, but it's pretty hard to say that he hasn't pitched well because he's only given up 2 runs in those 6 and 2/3 innings.
We had a really solid 3 innings today. 41 pitches, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 3 hits, and just the 1 run.
Okay. And another stat that I need to be on top of, but I do believe that in a 7-inning game, I think it's you have to be the pitcher of record after 4 innings, right? So Shilgren will maybe have a chance here to try to jump in and try to squeeze out a win, maybe get his first ever varsity win, as Illa will be getting a no decision today, but only giving up that 1 run through those 3 innings. And as we spoke about previously, very effective pitching by Brody Illa.
Yeah, just 41 pitches. So it's interesting to know why he's coming out, if there was something going on, just not feeling right, because I have a feeling that this was not a planned pitching change because of the way that it was executed, right? They didn't start with Shildren on the mound.
You know, if he had a low pitch count and they had a 9-10 run lead, and now you say, hey, okay, well, let's save some pitches on his arm, and get some guys some action. That's one thing, but it's hard to know. I guess I wasn't paying as close attention to his warm-up pitches to know if it was something lower body, if it was a shoulder, something along those sides, but they're obviously going to hope that not only is he not on the shelf too long, because he's been swinging a hot bat when he's been playing in the outfield.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about the pitching stats. He also had 2 plate appearances. He walked both times, stole a base, and scored a run.
Yeah, he's been an on-base machine. I think, what's his on-base percentage? I think he's up around 400s.
His on-base percentage is .550, and that's coming into today.
Right.
And he just got on base both times he was up. Yeah,
absolutely. Alrighty, so Shilgren's going to step in, the sophomore. I'll give a little quick courtesy of the injured senior pitcher, Connor Strapp. Gave me the rundown of all the pitches for the staff. Shilgren's going to work fastball, changeup, and curve. Illa primarily was working fastball, curveball, and then he does have a splitter, but we didn't see too much of the splitter today. And we start to cross our fingers as it starts to get dark skies as we start the top of the 4th inning here. Leading off for the 4th for the Burnsville Blaze will be the designated hitter, and that's going to be Brandon Einberger. It goes Einberger to Einberger in the 5th and 6th slot.
And Einberger singled back in the 2nd inning and scored the Blaze run, excuse me.
So he's got the lone RBI on the day. First pitch, strike by Shilgren. Einberger at the plate, today's designated hitter. Second pitch, fastball, outside corner, swung on and through for strike 2. 0-2 count here in the 4th inning. 6-1 lead for the Wildcats over the visiting Burnsville Blaze. Fastball popped up. Var gives chase to no avail. Yeah, and the other thing too, Skip, is you go from sunny skies and bright to just dark, and you wonder if that's going to be a problem for some of the outfielders and infielders on pop flies.
It's a weird weather night so far. That's all I got to say.
Well, it just doesn't want to make up its mind, right? Curveball misses, 1-2 count.
So you mentioned starting pitching has to go 4 innings to be the pitcher of record.
Correct.
How many innings need to be played in order for the game to be official?
Typically they'll say, I think it's through 5. Base hit though by Einberger, 2nd hit of the day. Takes that curveball out to left field. So yeah, I think they can still count a game can be considered full after, I believe it is 5 complete.
Or 4.5 if the home team has the lead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. But if it was, let's just say it was called. Let's say something happened here and it was called next inning. With 1 or 2 outs, batter on, and whether somebody's on base or not, then they would have to resume the game from that point. And then typically, how it works is you have to for sure have the pitcher and the batter. If the count isn't clean, they have to still start. So like the pitcher could come in and throw like a scheduled ball, and then you could bring in a reliever. McHugh looks at that fastball on the outside corner for a ball. 2-0 count. This is the first baseman, Luke McHugh. Yeah, a lot of intricacies of baseball. A lot of not necessarily weird rules, but rules that come into play in rare situations, right? 2-0 pitch. Fastball's low. So Shilgren started out 0-2 to Einberger. Einberger fouled off a pitch, got a single out to left, and now quickly Shilgren's up to a 3-0 count to the first baseman, McHugh. Blaze down 6-1, so we'll see if that takes away some aggressiveness on the base pass or not. Fastball in there for a strike. 3-1's our count. 6-1 is our score. As we mentioned, Shilgren, this is only his third varsity appearance of the season. Gets a strike on the outside corner to the chagrin of McHugh. Only have gone 2 innings in those 2 appearances too. So he's of all the the Eagan pitchers, all the relievers, he's seen the least amount of action here so far early on. 3-2 pitch.
Gotta imagine Butler's looking to get at least a good inning out of him, if not 2,
right,
given the early exit by Illa.
Yeah, absolutely. And no action in the bullpen so far, which makes sense. So yeah, I think obviously the hope would be probably to get him to go 2 innings for sure, right? Get lucky, maybe get him to go 3 or go into that 3rd inning in relief. 3-2 pitch to McHugh. Fastball popped up. This one's going to be taken by Avare, and he retires for his second pop-up of the day. Bring up the second baseman. The third baseman is A.J. Galvin. Galvin, a prominent name in New Ulm, Minnesota, Skip.
Yeah,
a lot of Galvins down there.
A.J. Galvin with a RBI double in the second inning, knocking in Brandon Einberger after that leadoff hit, so representing the 1 run so far for the Blaze.
Longtime radio personality in my hometown, and I was a Galvin. I always had the Galvin groaner of the day. That was the big joke of the day every day on KNUJ radio. As we see Einberger take off, strong throw, but it's going to be over the top of the second baseman, Canty, caught by Eckerly. So Einberger gets a stolen base, but Shilgren gets a strike to Galvin. We're going to watch a little replay here, Skip. Excellent jump. Just a high throw. Good backup by Eckerly to keep that from going out to center. The camera crew and the truck, they know that I like to, when I can, I try to infuse a little New Ulm into my broadcasts here. As the rain starts to trickle in here, we get the umbrella ready.
So Galvin's groaners, is that what you
Galvin's
said you
groaners, that was the joke of the day on KNUJ radio for many a years.
Now they just call them dad jokes.
Right, exactly. You got to figure it out. All right, 1-1's our count. Shilgren's pitch, curveball, misses inside to Galvin. And now we have wind and rain. So let's just get all the elements here at once.
Good times.
Absolutely. 2-1 count, 6-1 is our score. Einberger at second, leadoff single. Fastball in there for a strike by Shilgren. Galvin, the third baseman here today for the Burnsville Blaze. Shilgren looks in, time is called. 2-2 is our count. And the wind is howling. We don't want howling until about 6:30 at Target Center, Skip.
Nice.
So we don't need it now. We need to be howling for those Timberwolves later. 2-2, Galvin at the plate, Shilgren on the mound in relief of Brody Illa, the starter, who went 3 to start the game. Fastball, swung on, strike 3. Shilgren comes back with some strong heat to Galvin. It's going to send up the number 9 hitter, which will be the shortstop, Jack Skogan.
The
umbrella
game wreaking havoc on the umbrella. Chaos for Casey here.
Chaos with a capital C for everybody. The shortstop, Skogren, takes the first pitch in for a strike. Trying to show my versatility here. Got the Burnsville Blaze faithful in the back trying to help me out. Hopefully I'm not blocking their view too much either. Popped up and out. 0-2 quickly to the shortstop, Skoglund. Skoglund had a wonderful double play ball earlier. Skoglund to Dam to McHugh. And then he also had a almost a teeth chomper on a bad hop that skipped over his shoulder. 0-2 count, 2 down. Shilgren, time's called.
Looking for fewer timeouts, more swinging, guys.
Yeah. Okay, we're back in action. 0-2, fastball low, out for a ball. 1-2 count, 2 down. Einberger reached on a leadoff single here in the 4th. Trying to cover the equipment, trying to cover Skip. I'm not really that worried about how wet I get. Trying to make do here. 1-2 pitch. Fastball's low. Count evens up at 2.
There you can see the rain coming down from that camera angle.
Absolutely.
It's very much diagonal.
Yeah. Wow, it just took away the wind, Skip. Fastball swung on, popped up, out to right. Bad jump by Mitchell. I think he did such a good job of being confused, he confused me. I thought that thing was hit like right at him. That thing was barely stayed in play in foul territory.
Well, and I'm sure the wind wreaked havoc on that as well. It's
Absolutely.
been an interesting day, like we said, and that ball had to be coming back at us. We're losing our picture here. There we go.
Well, to fill in the fans at home, Skip and I are not in the Posh and Tony seats of the press box at Target Field. We are in the elements. That's how high school baseball works, right, Skip?
Apparently.
Einberger takes off. Ball swung on, hit down the line, and foul. So Shilgren doing a nice job here of continuing this at bat and continuing to throw strikes here in the conditions, in the elements, as well as our hitter.
Well, and I got to imagine that throwing a wet baseball is not the easiest thing. I mean, the odds of that thing slipping out of your hand are increasing with every pitch and every drop of rain.
2-2 pitch, curveball, outside corner for ball. Apparently umpire behind the plate does not have dinner plans tonight because he's in no hurry today.
Rain doesn't bother him.
Skoglund doing a nice job here of continuing this at bat and fighting against Shilgren. 3-2 count, 2 down. We'll see if Einberger takes off again. Shilgren's pitch to Skoglund. Swung on, foul back. As Skoglund keeps that at bat alive. Three-two again, 2 down. Fastball fouled off.
It's quite the battle here, fouling off a lot of pitches, staying alive.
Einberger is going to be awarded third on a no-pitch balk. I think he didn't fully come to a set to Shilgren. So now Einberger that much closer to home at third base, trying to add another run on the board. 3-2 count to the shortstop, Skoglund. Fastball, hot shot. Gonna get past King, get to Eckerly in time to Havare. So for the Blaze, they get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds with hopefully no more rain. 6-1's our score on Eagan TV.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Okay, so we are back here at Eagan. Umpires have sent the players off the field. I think they're hoping that maybe this is a quick, short rain that we can maybe pass on, and then hopefully the field is still playable. So what we're going to do is I think Skip and I are going to find some shelter as well. We're going to try to make sure that we keep this gear covered up, and then we will be back to you once ball and the game resumes.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
I'll see y'all. Got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? I feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sticking with us throughout the quick delay, I guess, a little bit of a quick delay, but with all that happening, we did have a little bit of a rain delay and then also had to work on the mound as well as home plate. We believe that the rain is done, so that's a beautiful thing. It is a 6-1 game. Eagan is set to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th. And we're going to see a pitching change as the first baseman is going to slide over. Luke McHugh is going to slide over from from first base to pitcher. And then now the new first baseman will be Will Hager. And then after all of that, we're set to resume action with the catcher, the sophomore, Brandon Lundenborg. Brandon has reached base twice, right, Skip?
Yes, he was hit by a pitch, and twice, as a matter of fact. So hit by a pitch, scored a run in the second inning, the big second inning for the Wildcats, a 6-run inning.
Perfect. So we get to see McHugh after that delay. Comes in with the curveball. Uncle Charlie in there for a strike right away. I think both sides of the fans are looking for strikes here after sitting through that delay, Skip, and also getting their toes cold here as the wind's picked up. Fastball's in there for a strike for McHugh. Tall kid on the mound. Big fella. 0-2 is our count to the catcher, Lundenborg. There we go. A little confusion there. Probably a little cross-up in signs with the catcher, Jake Newts. So, like I said, the new first baseman is Will Hager. We'll make sure Skip gets that in the book so that way we can stay on top of it. I haven't seen if there's any other position changes, but just a slide in of Hager for Santelman. So now they'll be the third hitter of that spot in the lineup. As Heckman started the day on the mound, Santelman came in relief, and now Hager will be batting in that pitcher's spot. 1-2 count, nobody out here. Bottom of the 4th, 6-1 is our score. Burnsville scored 1 in the second. RBI by Einberger. And there's strike 3 and a check swing by Lundenborg. And then Eagan followed that up with a big 6-run second inning. And we'll have Skip in a second here give us a little recap of that second inning as first baseman Tony Avari steps to the plate.
Yeah, I got to get my bearings here. There were so many batters in that inning. It was a lot of walks. We had a hit batter, 6 runs total, only, I believe, just the one hit.
Yes, that was a double down the line by the junior center fielder, Tate Gage, that brought in 2. Another big hit in that at-bat was the man at the plate right now, Tony Avari. Hit a hot shot. It caught, fastball right to my toes. That misses the plate. 2-0 count. Tony Havari at the first baseman had a hot shot that looked like it was going to be a routine grounder to second. Caught the kind of the lip of the pitcher's mound. Watch a fastball out there for a ball, quickly 3-0. Caught the side of the pitcher's mound on the second base side, and then in doing so had a big top spin and kick. And then Luke Dam was unable to kind of get in front of that, and that brought in 2 more runs as that rolled out to right field. Havari gets a walk, and that's going to bring up the sophomore. No, excuse me. Oh, yeah, now we got a pinch hit, new hitter. So with Brody Illa out of the game, we're going to have number 15, Ben Shilgren's going to get in that bat. This might be Ben's first one of the year, I think, if my memory serves me correct, and it is. So, first varsity appearance for Shilgren. Ball gets by Newts. Havari scoots. Like that? A little rhyme for you? A little Dr. Seuss? A little Newts and scoots?
Nice.
Just seeing if you're paying attention, Skip. Also, see if the truck's paying attention. They love it. Dr. Seuss action here on a Tuesday in Eagan.
Scoots out in his boots.
Hey, there we go. So, yeah, Shilgren, the sophomore, is getting his first varsity at-bats here. Came in relief of Brody Illa, who started the game, went 3 innings. Shilgren, this is his 3rd varsity appearance on the mound of the season. Only 2 innings coming into today. And his first chance to swing the lumber, so to say. 1-0 pitch, fastball outside corner. For a strike, Havari scooted over to second on that pass ball. I believe we have a new second baseman, too, so If I can see his number, I'll let you know who that is. I came in for Dam at second. We just got to keep Skip up to date on the changes. That way he can remind me, because all of my other stuff is too wet for me to even write on, Skip.
Yeah, I'm dealing with a little bit of a wet scorekeeper's book as well. So this will be a fun final 3 innings here at Wildcat
right?
Stadium.
Yeah. Makeshift. 2-1 pitch by LeCue. Low, blocked by Newts. Havari slides over to second, standing up. So Eagan trying to add another one here early on in the bottom of the 4th with already a 6-1 lead. Eagan trying to add to a 2-game winning streak and actually also get their 2nd win of the year in the South Suburban Conference. A non-conference win was on Saturday. Sjogren's first at bat gets a nice little jaunt to first for a walk. Waiting to see what Coach Butler's got in store. I think maybe a pinch hitter, courtesy runner, or something along those lines. It looks like Brandon Madiman's going to come out and run, as he's kind of been doing the running for the pitcher duties today. And then that'll bring up the second baseman, Aiden Canty. What's Aiden done today for us, Skip?
He has walked in both of his plate appearances. He scored a run back in the 2nd and had an RBI with bases loaded walk in that same inning. He actually came up both times and walked both times.
Okay. So fastball misses by McHugh. McHugh was able to get a strikeout to the first batter of the inning. That was Brandon Lundenborg. And Lundenborg was actually pretty surprised that he didn't get beaned for a change, as he had a hit by pitch his first 2 at-bats.
Yeah, right. It's been a fun day for Lundenborg. That first hit by pitch was not a fun one to watch.
No.
Right on the knuckles.
Yeah. Yeah, and the catchers get beat up so much the way it is, so it's like those are the one guys that you hope that aren't taking hit by pitches at the plate, right? Madiman at first, Havari at third, fastball in there, outside corner, 1-1 count, 1 down. And Eagan, with all those runs, still being out-hit today, 4-3 by the Blaze.
Yeah, a lot of walks. We talk about a few hit batsmen. They're getting the benefit of some pitching that isn't up to what Burnsville has usually put out there this season.
Yeah, and just a very untimely bounce, on that ball to second to Dam, right? I mean, it caught up so much steam off, like I said, off of the lip of the pitcher's mound, and that brought in 2 more runs too. So they could have maybe potentially gotten out of the inning at a 4-1 deficit, right? Maybe even 3-1 for that matter.
Yeah, a couple of bad bounces from the Burnsville perspective. A couple of lucky hops for Eagan for sure.
Yeah, sometimes, like they say, the ball has eyes, right? 1-2 count, McHugh on the mound. Fastball in there. Throw down to third by Newts as Madiman picks up a stolen base. You could tell that's kind of an adjustment that Blaze has, the Burnsville Blaze has made, right? If first and third, if somebody's going to be somebody's going to be stealing, they're just going to turn around and hose it down to third and see if they catch that guy sleeping. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, slow roller. That's going to be hit to Galvin. Galvin's going to come home. His only plays at first. Not dug by Hager. We're going to see Madiman scoot in. So a ball hit about 40 feet. Skip brings in 2 runs.
Some nice base running there by the Wildcats. We talked about Saturday. They had a rough day base running, especially in that 7th inning. But today they've very, very much gone the other way, a full 180, and they're doing some nice work on the base paths.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking advantage of it, right? Heads up play. Nice job by Galvin to come in. The one hop just kind of scooted up past Heger, and then in doing so, by the time Heger got his back to it, Madiman was already cruising around third. So quickly, 8-1 score here for the Wildcats. Senior shortstop Ryan Eckerly at the plate. Fastball misses in. 2-0 count. Canty now at first. And it looks like they gave an error on the throw, so Blaze still out hitting the Wildcats 4-3. But Canty doesn't care about that hit in the books because he got 2 more runs in. Fastball in there, inside corner.
So it's an error on the throw, but he still gets 1 RBI because he was going to first. The runner would have scored.
Yeah, he'll get 1 RBI. Doesn't get the second one on the hop. Correct. Fastball misses up. Yeah, you know, in Eagan TV, Skip, we're all about educating the fans, right? And even if sometimes if we're not right, then we might be educating ourselves. So somebody's getting educated,
yeah,
right?
Educating the fans, educating the color commentator, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep it moving here. 3-1 pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Makes it full. On deck is the third baseman, Theo King.
I was going to say, Eckerly also came up twice in that big second inning, walked and struck out looking.
Okay. McHugh throw over to Hager, not in time. Nice job by the Eagan crew and pitching coach Luke Jagermont to get the pitching mound ready with some diamond dry as well as home plate. Big swing fouled off. For the most part, it wasn't a downpour rain, whether people saw that on the cameras or not. It was just a steady rain, and I think where it really did its damage, the field is in great shape. It's just the mound, as we talked, as Skip and I were talking, that's where really the damage was done because, you know, there was that rain in the second inning as Canty takes off. Rain in that second inning, then obviously all that rain here in the fourth. That's what really made that, you know, that mound slimy. Yeah, so the diamond dries on there, but obviously you can tell pitchers are going to be pitching with clumps of clay throughout the day here. 3-2 count, the shortstop. Eckerly at the plate. Canty at first. McHugh, another attempt over to first to see if they can catch Canty sleeping or taking off early. 8-1 is our score. Burnsville Blaze traveling across the metro to take on the Wildcats. Ground ball hit to second, fielded. Nice spin and throw, but not caught by Hager. It is still Luke Dam at second. I thought for a split second there was a change, and there wasn't. So now we have Canty at third. Eckerly scoots over to second. And Theo King, the third baseman, steps in. What's Theo been doing here so far today, Skip?
Theo has a RBI in the first inning, or in the second inning with a stolen base. He did score a run. He got the RBI on a force out, avoided the double play, but the force out was at second, getting Eckerly at second base. But again, with the RBI, had a single as well in the third inning, got as far as second, was stranded there.
Perfect. Good recap. Curveball in there for a strike by McHugh. Nice play by Dam there to get over to it. Did the spinorama and throw, and I don't know if it was a combination of either the throw pulled Hager off the base or if Hager maybe got into his stretch a little too early. And that's allowed Eckerly then to scoot over to second base on that passed ball, which looks like they gave as official as another error on the day for the Blaze. 1-1 pitch, one down. McHugh, curveball, just misses, not by much. Canty at third. Eckerly at second. 2-1 is our count, one down. 8-1 score, in the bottom of the fourth. Curveball then in for a strike. 2-2 count. Haven't seen a whole lot of action in either bullpen, so, oh, nope, take that back. I think now we're going to see Ben Waffle maybe get loose for the Blaze. McHugh's fastball misses out. With as dirty as that plate is for us, Skip, it's even hard to see where even that plate is in that batter's box right now. 3-2 count, one out to King, ball four. King gets another walk, bases loaded, and that's going to bring up the senior left fielder, Joe Anderson. How's that math going over there, Skip?
It's a little busy. It's a little rough here on the wet sheets, but I was going to say it's a long inning for McHugh. He's thrown 34 pitches, and we've had 6 batters, so a lot of the batters going deep in the count. Not a lot of balls put in play.
Correct. Fastball misses out. Fill the fans in on senior Joe Anderson's day in the plate.
2 plate appearances, 2 walks with a stolen base and a run scored.
Okay. McHugh's pitch on 1-0, misses again out. Yeah, the reason he made me laugh on that wet sheets was there's a friend of mine, I won't put his name on blast, but the nickname that another friend gave him was Cold Sheets. I thought that was quite the unique nickname as a 2-0 pitch comes in. Fastball's in there for a strike. Called him Cold Sheets because he said he was a great guy once he warmed up to you.
Ah, I like that.
It took me a while, too, to understand it when I heard it called the first couple times to him. Had me rolling. So when you said wet sheets, that got me going here. Time is called by Joe Anderson. And we're going to make sure to thank the Eagan crew here in a second, too, for battling the conditions here today. Curveball in there for strike 2-2 is our count. So, 2-2 is our count, one down, bottom of the fourth. Curveball, swung on and missed and tagged. So that's going to bring us back to the top of the lineup, and that's going to be Tate Gage.
Tate grounded out in the first inning. In the second, had a 2 RBI single with a stolen base and flew out in the third. So 1 for 3.
Yep.
With a nice day with the 2
Absolutely.
RBI.
A couple RBIs. McHugh's got a nice curveball. He's getting establishing that early in these at-bats. Gets up early, 0-1 to the junior center fielder. Curveball in the dirt. Nice job by Newts keeping it in front. In doing so, keeping Canty at third. Canty's at third. Eckerly's at second. King is at first. 8-1 is our score. 2 down here at Wildcat Park. Another fastball in there for a strike. 1-2 count. Only real position change is McHugh coming in from first base to pitching. Fastball misses. Heckman started the day for the Blaze. Santelman came in relief, and after that long delay, McHugh now called upon, and Hager, at first. Ball hit again down the line. Gage looking for a second double of the day as Canty and Eckerly cruise in to score. Gage with his third and fourth RBI of the day brings him to a season total of 7 and doubled his doubles on the season there, Skip. Came in today with 2 doubles, adds 2 more today.
Nice. Oh, on the spot math there, Casey.
Absolutely.
I like that. A big hit down the line, 2 more runs. First hit of the inning, despite the fact that that's now 4 runs this inning.
Yeah, and very similar to his last. Yeah, very similar to his last 2-hour double. So I mean, Gage. I think what the South Suburban Conference might start doing, Skip, is they might start putting that third baseman right down that line and say, hey, try to hit one in between short and third for a change. So McHugh's day is going to be done on the mound, and we're going to see Ben Waffle come in, who is out in the bullpen getting ready. And then we're also going to see the second hitter in the Eagan lineup, which will be sophomore Will Mitchell, the right fielder, will step into the plate with runners on second and third.
So right now we are looking at runners at second and third for this pitching change. It's 10-1. Eagan has the lead. Big inning here, just 1 hit, but the walks have put runners on bases, and Eagan is capitalizing.
Yep, absolutely. So this will be the 4th pitcher of the day for the Blaze, which I'm guessing wasn't part of their game plan either, to go through 4 pitchers here today against the South Suburban foe in the Wildcats. Wildcats are already onto their second pitcher of the day in Ben Children. And doesn't look like I see any action in the Wildcat bullpen, so I think they're going to send Ben back out in the top of the 5th. We have a 10-1 score with 2 down. We're just going to stay here as Waffle gets loose. we already had long enough of a break, Skip, during that rain delay, right? So, I mean, we can keep talking a little bit here.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to do math on my wet sheets, and hopefully I can get some stats of people here as we run through some pitchers.
Absolutely. So, Gage at second, King at third. Gage, 2 doubles today, both of them being of the 2 RBI variety. Came through with the clutch hits, both at bats, I think, Skip. That one was a 2-out double. I think his first double, was a 1-out double that really kind of got the rally going, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah, that's tough to say, but I think you're right. I think he had a 2-run double with 2 outs this inning, but before he had another 2-run single.
I think there might have been just 1 out maybe at the time. Maybe it was nobody out. It very well was nobody out. And that's fine. Well, that's
You're really challenging me here, Casey.
Yeah, I know.
It's tough to read this.
Yeah, I hear you. Everything's bled in together after the rain. Will Mitchell, the sophomore, steps in. He had a double in the first inning. First pitch swinging. Waffles pitch gets past. Newts. King scoots in. Eagan takes a 11-1 lead as they just want to keep attacking today, Skip, and keep adding runs and see if that can be kind of a windfall for their season.
Exactly. This is the second game in a row they've been able to put up double digits in the run column, despite, again, just 4 hits.
Yep, absolutely. So Eagan scoring 6 in the second and currently scoring 5 here in the fourth. Fastball, nice scoop by Newts, keeping it front as Cage cruised over to third on that pass ball. Mitchell at the plate, as we said before, Mitchell having a heck of a season at the plate. Coming into today, .515 with over 600 on-base percentage. And yes, a little bit of a small sample size of 11 at-bats, but what that tells you is obviously the kid is finding the holes and getting base hits here early on this season. It was 4 for 5 yesterday at Rosemount. 4 RBIs was Mitchell. 3-0, Waffle to Mitchell, outside corner for strike.
And 2 for 3 against Grand Rapids on Saturday, so really putting together some nice at-bats here recently.
Yeah, and then obviously a hit today in the first inning, so he just keeps stacking them up. Takes a walk on a 5-pitch at-bat. Bring up the catcher, Brandon Lundenborg. And the Eagan has officially batted around this inning again, Skip, because Lundenborg now, he was the leadoff hitter this inning, and he struck out against McHugh. So Eagan batting around in the second and in the fourth. Mitchell at first, Gage at third. Throw over by Waffle to Hager, not in time. 11-1 is our score. Even on hits at only 4 apiece, but as we've mentioned, 3 errors, and I think we're up to, I'm gonna do quick math, Skip, and I'm gonna say I think we're up to 8 or 9 walks by the Blaze pitching staff, including this inning.
Yeah, I can.
And that's why they have.
Get you there, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is that's how they have 11 runs when they only have 4 hits, right? They're not like they've hit, a 3-runner and a grand slam, and that's 6 of their runs are on 2 hits, right? It's mainly been due to the fact of errors that brought in runs, and then also the walks have obviously kept putting men on bases for the Wildcats. 0-1 count, 2 down. Waffle to Lundenborg, fastball in there, making it 0-2. Havari, the first baseman, is on deck.
Yeah, 11 walks total, and a couple of times we've had a hit batter.
Lundenborg, first action for Lindsay, the outfielder, and he gets that can of corn for the 3rd out of the inning. I'd like to say I could do the math here, Skip, but I think I'm going to go with 5 runs on 1 hit with 2 errors and 2 left on, and I think I got that.
Yes, you did.
All right. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Top of the 5th, 11-1 is our score with Eagan leading the Burnsville Blaze on Eagan TV.
I'll see y'all. I got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ? Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Okay, get a little look at the Wildcat bench there as they look comfortable in their Eagan jackets. We got Ben Shilgren on the mound. The sophomore. Looks like the only change in the Eagan defense is we have Eddie Moore now playing right field for Will Mitchell. And then I think for the Blaze, it's looking like it's going to be the top of the lineup, I believe, which will be Luke Dam going into Noah Lindsay and then the catcher Jacob Newts. Shilgren, 2 appearances prior to today's outing. Sophomore. And if he can hold on here and keep throwing strikes, get his first varsity win. A year of a lot of firsts this year for Eagan, Skip, with all the all the upperclassmen, those 10 seniors graduating last year.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him get experience, get more confidence as the season gets going. You talked about Luke Dam leading off the inning. He struck out looking in the first, hit a sac fly RBI in the second, so the 1 RBI here for Burnsville.
I believe that scored Einberger, one of the Einberger crew.
Yeah, that is correct, Brandon.
Yep. Okay. So the leadoff hitter is the second baseman, which is Luke Dam, as that first pitch gets away from Shilgren. Eddie Moore now in right field for the Wildcats. Fastball's up. And Shilgren obviously had a long delay because he went through the rain delay into that long inning into now finally getting back on the mound, and we've seen 3 fastballs way out of the zone up high. So, partially just trying to get the feel for the ball again, get your release point, get your pitching slot locked in again, Skip. Those are all things that you just want to work on here as he gets that fastball in there for a strike.
Nice job getting that one down. I'm sure he's getting used to the mound if that doesn't feel quite the same as it did.
Correct.
Back when he pitched before the rain delay.
Yep, absolutely. 3-1 pitch, fastball misses. Send Luke Dam down to first on a leadoff walk. Bring up the center fielder, which is Noah Lindsay. And I think if my memory, and I'm not even going to say serves me correctly because I'm pretty sure I know that I'm correct without sounding too arrogant. But that pop fly to Lindsay in the last inning was the first and only out of the day of a fly ball to the outfield. Otherwise, we've had basically just 2 doubles on the left third base line and 1 double down the right field line.
Yeah, for the Wildcats, that's the first time they have flown out to the outfield all game long.
Yeah, right. Which is just a rarity that, in baseball you just don't see very often. Shilgren in there for a strike on a fastball. Luke Dam at first.
Oh, and not a lot actually for Burnsville. Just a fly out to right back in the second inning is all I've seen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they've been pop-ups in the
infield. Exactly. No, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, Gage and Anderson have just been lonely out there in center and left today. There was that one hot shot double that was over the head of Mitchell. That might have been a little wind-induced. And that was by Einberger in the second. Fastball misses in quickly, now 2-2. Luke Dam at first. 11-1 is our score. hits are even on the board, 4 apiece between the Blaze and the Wildcats. Blaze have 3 errors, where the Wildcats have a clean defense thus far. Fastball swung on, fouled away, 2-2 now, our count. Burnsville and Eagan faithful did find some shelter during the rain delay and are still here. Sun's back out, winds picked up a little. We did have about an inning and a half there, Skip, where it was beautiful April baseball weather.
Feels like a different day. I feel like we played like 3 different games here in one.
Yeah, when you said, I was thinking, there's actually been 3 because, it was sunny and a little windy, and then the rain first came a little bit before first pitch. Fouled off by Lindsay. That's going to send Luke Dam back to first as he got a great jump. 3-2 count. And then we had the rain in the second, and then the sun came out, and then it felt like a true April Minnesota baseball day. Wind probably dropped down to 5 or less. Sun felt nice and warm at our back. And then it got ugly again. It got really dark in the skies. And then, like we said, it wasn't downpour rain, but it was steady for at least a good, 10, 15 minutes. And enough to obviously get the mound pretty sloppy. Luke Dam at first, he reached on a walk. Ben Shilgren still in the game in relief of the starter, Brody Illa. Lindsay at the plate. Fastball low, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to Luke Dam and Noah Lindsay. We'll bring up the catcher, Jacob Newts. That also brings a mound visit from Luke Degermont, and that also starts some action in the bullpen, which I believe will be Jackson Tasalis getting loose for the Wildcats.
Newts walked back in the first inning, struck out looking in the third, so he's officially 0 for 1.
Okay. 0 for 1. Burnsville here, trying to extend the game here with this 10-run lead here in the 5th, as well as the chip away. Eagan trying to get their third win on the season, their 3rd consecutive win on the season, and then their 2nd consecutive South Suburban Conference win. Shilgren's pitch swung on, hit up the middle. Eckerly, DeCanty, scooped up by Havare. 6-4-3 Skip in your book. 1 pitch, 2 outs. Pitcher's best friend, Skip. Luke Dam then slides over to third with the big at-bat now coming up for John Santelman.
Yeah, that was tailor-made for Eckerly. I mean, just right on the ground, scooped it up, as you'll see here. Gets it ready, flicks it over, fires it on to first. Nice scoop over there as well.
And you notice too in that replay, look at the Fred Astaire feet by that base up, man. Just a couple quick shuffles to his right to get out of the way, get out of the view of Eckerly. Sandelman steps in. Shilgren throws a fastball in there for a strike right away. Ground ball to second to Canty. He fields it cleanly to Havari for the out. And it's time for high fives for the Wildcats. So Eagan does 10-run the Blaze, in part with a 6-run second inning and then a 5-run bottom of the 4th inning to 10-run the Burnsville Blaze. Skip and I kind of already recapped it, so I don't think there's a real need to dive deep into it. They batted around both those innings. Primarily it was walks, but 2 big clutch 2-run doubles by Tate Gage. And then, smart base running by the Wildcats, and then solid pitching. Brody Yellow only went 3 innings. We hope he didn't leave with an injury, but, he left early. And then hats off to the sophomore, Ben Shilgren, that comes in. Wasn't able to get the win on Saturday, but gets the win today in relief.
Yeah, some solid pitching, some solid base running. We saw some mistakes Saturday. They corrected those today to the Wildcats. And this is one of those games where if I'm the manager of the Burnsville Blaze, I'm just saying, guys, sometimes things get away from you in a game. And, the pitching wasn't getting the ball over the plate. They get up a lot of walks. They hit some batters, had a couple errors.
Correct.
It happens. You just throw this one away and get ready for your next one.
Absolutely. I think, you can say it's a literal term, but kind of just a washout game, right? You just kind of wash that one away. You wash that one out. You say, hey, it was 1-0. We took the lead. We had a rough inning on the mound where, Eagan hit around in the second inning. But, at the same time, they never really truly were knocking on the door after that. So I'm sure at the same time, Burnsville will be looking forward to that home game that they will have against Eagan. And we will be doing that game on the road. So upcoming games, just so you know, before we sign out here, we'll be back on Thursday. Apple Valley at Eagan, 4:30 start. Boys volleyball to follow Apple Valley at Eagan at 7. And then a whole lot of softball coming up on Saturday. So let's keep that rain away on Saturday. So we are all set. Thank you to the crew. I had all the names that, I don't have them memorized, so I apologize because my sheet got all wet. But the camera crew, you guys were great out in the elements. Those in the truck, once again, excellent work. We always love working with Eagan TV and all the work and efforts that you guys provide to put high school sports on TV. So for my main man, Skip Newton, I'm Casey Lux. Eagan wins 11-1 in 5 innings today here on Eagan TV. Have a wonderful night. And remember, Skip, go Wolves.
That's right. Go Wolves.